Good afternoon, folks. This is Deb, and we're going to talk today about Susie Wiles and her unfiltered interview with Vanity Fair. Now, let me make one thing clear. I canceled Vanity Fair this year, and I canceled it for a reason. I canceled it because, in spite of the fact that they are liberal, um, they like to hobnob with the billionaires. And after I saw how much real estate in that publication was being given to Jeff Bezos's wedding, it literally turned my stomach. And I decided that it wasn't worth it for me to keep that subscription just because their politics are liberal. Okay. So I did get rid of it, but I know exactly uh, what Susie Wiles said. She admitted that Trump is in the files. Um, and she called them, Epstein and Trump, young playboys together. Um, she torched Pam Bondi's handling of the Epstein files, um, because Bondi thought that not many people were going to be interested in this, even though, quite frankly, MAGA has been talking about child sex trafficking since 2016. Okay, the only problem was they were pointing the finger at the Democrats, and the actual fact is that the Republicans are much more into that shit than the Democrats are. And I'm not here to defend Bill Clinton. I'm not defending Bill Clinton. I could care less. They can release everything about everybody that was involved in the Epstein files. I don't care if they're Democrats, Republicans, Green Party members, or independents. Okay? They are all equally heinous. But let me make one thing perfectly clear about Susie Wiles. She is a GOP powerhouse, okay? Trump calls her the Ice Maiden. And Trump was quick to defend her, okay, blaming Vanity Fair for what was being said. Well, you know what? Susie Wiles spent hours talking to Vanity Fair, and she did it for a reason. Because she knows in order for Trump to get a reset before the midterms, that heads have to roll. And we are seeing now Dan Bongino, the first person who's going to be resigning in January. All right, so don't think that Susie Wiles is any great shakes here. She's not. Okay, she's an operative of Donald Trump, and she insisted that even though he flew on the Lolita Express and was in the files, he did nothing wrong. I want to make one thing clear. Okay. Yeah, indeed. We can go back and look at Trump. Trump's got a long history of harassing women sexually, a long history. 26 women and counting have accused him. He is an adjudicated rapist in the E. Jean Carroll case. Okay, I don't care what anyone says. You can say that because the judge defined what he did to E. Jean Carroll as rape. Okay, period. End of story. He is also a 34-time convicted felon. The man shouldn't have even been on the fucking ballot. Okay? That's against the rules of the Constitution. Okay? You can't be a felon and run for president, but that doesn't matter in America anymore because the rule of law is out the window. But let me make one thing perfectly clear. I don't care if Donald Trump dipped his wick into a minor. I don't care if Bill Clinton didn't dip his wick into a minor. I don't care who did what. Anybody who knew what Jeffrey Epstein was all about and did not come forward and try to stop that is guilty. They are guilty. Donald Trump knew who Jeffrey Epstein was. Jeffrey Epstein himself said that Donald Trump knew about the girls. Jeffrey Epstein's brother said that Trump knew about the girls. I find it hard to believe that Bill Clinton didn't know about the girls. Okay? If you associated with Jeffrey Epstein and you knew what he was, and you thought just because you didn't indulge that you were okay, you are wrong. Okay? You are wrong. And let me make one other thing clear. Donald Trump's statement that he dumped Jeffrey Epstein after he was convicted is a lie, because Donald Trump had Thanksgiving dinner with Jeffrey Epstein in 2017. Let's get it clear here. I don't care what Donald Trump did or didn't do with a minor. I don't care if he didn't touch a minor. The fact of the matter is Virginia Giuffre was trafficked from Mar-a-Lago, where she was working for Donald Trump. Donald Trump was angry that Jeffrey Epstein stole his employee. He didn't steal Trump's employee. He trafficked Trump's employee. Donald Trump knew. And in my book, that is guilty. You stand back and you put blinders on and you pretend none of this was going on. And just because you weren't participating, it's okay. Then I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. It isn't okay. I will talk to you all later.